Talking about this new pandemic, and now since the unlocking has started, we've all been resuming our work, and workplaces have been allowed, reopened, and we're all getting back. So, as team leaders or as people in the organizations, how do we make sure that COVID appropriate behavior is followed, and how we as individuals take the responsibility to prevent ourselves from being exposed and neither being harmed in this process, neither being a part of spreading this virus. So, as leaders, the first priority would be to normalize issues like, for example, social distancing. It is okay if we do not shake hands, it is okay if we do not hug each other. So, when you welcome people, it's either a namaste or a hi from a distance or the elbow tap. These are behaviors that as leaders we can enforce to avoid direct contact between people. Many a times I've also seen that people tend to remove their masks as a kind of respect for the people whom they are speaking to, and consider it not politically right if they are masked up and they speak. But remember, this isn't the case. We should always keep our masks up, especially more when we are communicating with each other and when we are in direct contact with the other person. So as leaders, we'll have to emphasize that the mask is always on, especially when we are surrounded by people and when we have other people in the room and we are attending to meetings. The next one would be the periodical reminder to sanitize and to wash our hands before and after touching things or at periodical intervals. So, as a mark of how we ask, how are you doing? Similarly, we could have pop-ups or we could have other things put up across the office floors reminding each person to wash his hands periodically. Celebrations or meetings in a closed room should be not allowed or discouraged. Rather, you can still replace it with the online platform where you can meet. But if the in-person meeting is unavoidable, then you could insist that it is a more smaller group, widely spaced, with open windows. So as leaders or as people who are in the organizations, if we try to emphasize on these small things and small changes, it can go in a long way in coming over this pandemic, and we can successfully tide over this and prevent other waves from happening.